Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to Cameroun Feeling on CRTV. It is the 25th of August, 2020. Time goes by so quickly. People wake up in the mornings asking themselves, what have I done since January 2020? What have I achieved? Or has it just been a year that I can't remember? Actually, I read somewhere something really funny. Someone wrote, I'm not counting this year as part of my birthday because I did not live it. So this year is not considered at all. But then this morning I woke up thinking about something else completely different. This word rarity kept popping in my head and I don't know why. And I started to just figure things out. What is rare, first of all? What do you know is rare? Is it a thing? Is it a person? It's more of something that's uncommon or something that's distinct, something that's unusual. It could be a quality. It could be a manner of being, a personality type. Yeah, so you see someone, you're like, you're rare. And I also think it depends on your perspective, how you look at what's rare. Because if you're in a room of selfish people and a kind person steps in, you're going to look at that person like, you're rare. Over here, we are selfish people, so you're kind of rare being here. But then there are other rarities that is general. Everyone sees it and knows this particular thing or this particular person is rare. For example, I came across dark red waters, like a dark red waterfall found in Antarctica. They call it the blood fall. And it's like a regular waterfall, but the difference is it's red. It's like the waterfall is bleeding. Everyone will look at that and say, oh, that's super rare. Another thing is, carrots, right? The carrots are usually orange, sometimes green when they are ripening, as we say. But then what happens when you see a carrot that is purple? You look at it and you're like, that's rare. And I think one of the rarest things I've seen personally, someone with 6 fingers. 6 fingers. That was a rare thing and I was shocked to see it. But my question I'm asking you right now is not for us to, just think about all the random rare things. What is the rarest thing you have, you watching the program? Yes, you. Thank you for watching, by the way. What's the rarest thing you have? And this Oscar Wilde quote, I think, can help you. It says, to live is the rarest thing in the world. Why? Because most people exist, they don't live. To live is the rarest thing in the world because most people just exist. You wake up in the morning, have your tea, go to work, come back, sleep, next day, the cycle continues. So, rarity is life. And once you understand how rare and precious it is, you live it without bounds. And that's why you should be smiling right now. We're going to try to make you smile because we'll be talking about other rarities on the program. We'll be talking about diamonds. People say diamonds are a girl's best friend, but they're not very common. We'll talk about them. And then we'll also look into selflessness. People who've decided not to think only about what I'll gain for myself today, but how they can give to internally displaced persons. That's also a rarity. And then finally, we'll be talking about moonwalking on this first segment of the program. Who did that? And is it possible to do in the first place? Because some people don't know if it's possible. We'll look at that with Kembe Gochi coming up soon. But first, let's talk about a rarity, a monument that signifies national unity in this country. There's only one you can think of right now. And did you know that the reunification monument took 5 years to build? Many more facts coming up with Kembe Gochi.
Sitting prominently in the heart of the plateau at Temenge in Yaoundé, chief town of the central region of Cameroon, is a reunification monument representing the past, present, and future of the Republic of Cameroon. Inaugurated in 1978 by Cameroon's first president, Amadou Ahidjo, this charming work of art immortalizes the merging of the two Cameroons in October 1961. History holds that the construction of the monument lasted 5 years. It consists of two structures, a 7-meter tall statue with the patriarch holding a flame with children around him, symbolizing oneness. It is said to be the brainchild of Gideon Pondo. Standing conspicuously at the center of the platform is a 20-meter tall tower which speaks of the diversity of Cameroon, Africa in miniature. It was designed by the French architect Armand Salomon. The external aesthetics were conceived by Father Njebel Mbeng, a Cameroonian prelate, historian and philosopher. The spiral-like tower is crowned at the top by a beacon, symbol of unity in diversity. In addition to its historic significance is its enchanting display of architectural impressiveness, enhanced by the erstwhile staircase, the banquet hall at the basement, and the flamboyant garden that radiates life around the monument, making it an ideal location to spend time and relish nature. To visit these premises, a handwritten application letter for an access note from the Ministry of Arts and Culture will make the case.
Okay, if you're just joining us, it's Cameroun Feeling on CRTV. Yes, we are live, and thank you again for sticking around. We have an hour, about 30 minutes to go. We have rarity, as I said at the start of the program, coming in the second segment of the show. We'll talk about theater arts and rarity because cinema is drowning that form of art in this country. People are not celebrating it, although it's like the beginning of performing arts. Theater arts is what marked it. So to discuss that, we have a practitioner who tells us her story from the 90s till date. But right now, we are going to look at trivia. Let's talk about dirt for a minute, right? When you talk about dirt, people are like, ew, I don't want it to touch me. I have to clean my hands. I don't like dirt. But let's talk about why it's a bit important to be dirty. I know that didn't come out really well, but let's look into the details now. Research shows that exposure to natural, healthy bacteria, dirt or germs in early childhood can train the immune system to behave in a protective way. Now, what does that mean? When you have your kid and it's crawling around the floor and touching their face and you're like, no, they're going to get ill. So don't do that. Don't panic. Calm down. Instead, they're exposing themselves to the healthy bacteria and training their immune system to fight it. So the more you try to stop, the more the immune system is like, we don't know anything about that, we're on holiday. And when the bacteria comes, the real one to fight, the immune system is like, we're not used to this, we don't know what to do. That's why people end up having asthma and other common allergies. Now, why am I saying this? Because on our trivia today, the question is, what's the dirtiest part of your house? The answer will surprise you, but then you would learn something. Let's watch.
Your house is filthy. It's filled with dead skin cells, dust, and around 200,000 different species of bug, bacteria, and fungus. Now, it's tempting to assume that most of them live in your toilet. After all, it's where, you know. But here's the thing. The dirtiest place in your house isn't your toilet. It's actually you. Household microbes lurk in the most unlikely of places. Take a heat-loving bacteria called Thermus aquaticus. These guys can only be found in two environments: blisteringly hot geysers like Old Faithful at Yellowstone and your hot water heater. Another example is Penicillium fungi. They creep into your air conditioner from outdoors. When you switch on the AC, their spores get blasted around the house and are known to cause allergies in 2 to 6% of people. So when you notice a funny musty smell coming from your AC, it's probably the fungus. But before you start eyeing your central air suspiciously, think about this. You dump microbes all over your body every time you shower. It turns out trillions of organisms live in your shower head. piled on top of each other in a slimy layer half a millimeter thick. But that's not necessarily a problem. Researchers found that a type of shower-dwelling mycobacterium actually boosts levels of serotonin. That's a neurotransmitter thought to lower stress and increase happiness. And when those errant mycobacteria land on you, they join the tens of thousands of other microbe species that live in the dirtiest place around, your body. Like Corynebacteria, the microbes that give your armpits that stinky odor, and simultaneously fight off harmful pathogens like E. coli. Meanwhile, 300 to 500 species of microbe colonize your gut and are thought to play a role in maintaining your immune system, digestive system, and even mental health. In the non-bacteria category of microbes, you've got such guests as microscopic mites that live on your face and mold that colonizes your toes. And while the idea of them might give you chills, microbes like these help keep you safe. You see, the number of harmless microbial species in the world outnumber harmful ones by 1 trillion to 1. In fact, less than 0.0000001% of microbial species account for nearly all infectious diseases in the world. And all these harmless bacteria crawling on your skin means less room and resources for pathogens like antibiotic-resistant microbes, which also means they have less opportunity to take over and make you sick. So even when antibiotics fail, it could be all those other microbes crawling in and on you that keep you safe. So in a way, you need to get a little dirty to stay healthy.
Surprising, but true. Yes, you have some people who bathe 100 times a day because, oh, I need to be super clean and that's the way to be. Now you know there's a reason why we get dirty. And sometimes you just need to relax because biology understands it. And you just embrace what nature has given to you. That does not mean that you do not shower or you roll in mud, but just understand not to panic. That's the idea. That said, it's time to welcome our guest of this segment of the program. She is the representative of Dr. Ekwe Lois International Foundation, a non-governmental organization based in the United States of America, Africa, and also Cameroon. Well, you're welcome, Emade Eunice.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. And you?
I'm doing great. How was your weekend, by the way?
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah, and the coming weekend is going to be greater.
It's going to be very great.
That's why you're here.
Yeah.
Now, one of your main objectives in the organization is to empower single mothers, widows, and the right of the girl child. Why is it such a motivating factor?
Oh, when we look in our society today, we discover that the most vulnerable group of people are the women, mostly, and specifically the single girls, single mothers, and also widows. So that is why we decided to empower those group of people.
And how do you do so?
We do that through many activities. We began by identifying them where they are, yes. And we try to come look at the things that they need most, and we try to impact them at that level of what they need most.
Now, I think it's in line with this mission. You have an event coming up on Saturday the 29th. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, we have an event coming up on the Saturday the 29th in Loom precisely. And that event will be meant at training some single mothers and some widows on how to gain some skills so that they can be empowered to carry on some activities to help their own families. So we will be having some resource people on how to transform cocoa into chocolates. Yeah, on how to extract some oil from cocoa, also from carrot, so that those are the things they need most in the society. And that particular environment has as raw materials cocoa and those other items. So we deem it necessary to carry on that activity in that environment
I like that.
can
So you
help them.
first of all did research.
And you
understood what's available.
Yes, we
and
did the
that's
research
it.
and we did the visibility studies.
Yes.
What is it that the people are passionate of? What is it that they produce in that local environment? And we decided to carry on that particular activity.
Okay.
And knowing that that particular environment is a refugee zone for most of the IDPs.
Internally displaced
The
persons.
internally displaced persons. So that is why we had to go to that particular environment.
How do you identify who will be a part of this training?
Yeah, what we did was that we are in partnership with some groups of people. We're in partnership with churches. So when we go to local churches, we go to Njange groups, we go to some gatherings. There we try to now do, to analyze who are the group of people here. And we had to come out with a list of the single mothers there, the internally displaced widows. And that's how we came out with our list for those that we have to train.
Okay, when is it happening again?
It is going to take place on Saturday, the 29th. Yeah, and still on that same event, we are not just going to end at training them. We are going to give them a startup envelope.
Okay,
where-
capital to start with.
Yes, we'll give them a capital to start
Wow,
with.
okay.
Yes, we'll give them a capital to start with so that they don't just end at empowering them, but they can carry on an activity daily. And we intend to follow them up as time goes on. And same in that same activity, we'll be doing some solidarity work where we have some other group of IDPs who cannot be trained for now.
Yes.
We are going to be giving them some food stuff, those basic necessities that they need,
Yes.
so that it can help them a long way to go on with life.
Are you open to people joining the foundation in this activity?
We are very open. We are calling on the entire world. This is an issue that has plagued our society, and we know there are many people of goodwill out there who want to show solidarity. We are calling on them that they can join us in this move.
That's in Loom
It will be taking place in Loom
on Saturday.
on Saturday the 29th.
PCC Loom, precisely.
Yes, the Presbyterian Church Loom. That's where we'll be gathering for the activity.
Okay, from 8 a.m. Now, what interested me in your presentation is you said you can become an expert in food processing in just 4 hours.
Yeah, it's very.
How is that possible?
Yeah, it is very possible. I want to say that Cameroon is very rich,
Yes.
and we have all what it takes to transform lives. Yes, and one of the things we are rich of is raw material. Now, we have the cocoa in that area.
Yes.
And most of the times, we are only based on exporting it. But in 4 hours, there's a possibility to transform cocoa into many different products,
Such as?
such as chocolate, such as cocoa oil
Yes.
that they use for the body.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
And
there are many options.
there are many options.
Yeah, because you talked about coconut oil as well.
We have coconut
Carrot
oil, we have carrot oil equally.
Yes.
All that activity will take place in 4 hours.
So you're giving them an opportunity to learn how to do that so they can do trade,
Yeah,
earn
so that
money,
they can
and
begin
take care of themselves.
petty businesses.
Yes.
Yeah, with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can only encourage you in that pathway. Just to remind you, if you're just joining us, it's Cameroun Feeling on CRTV, and we're talking with Emade Eunice, the
Yeah.
representative of Dr. Ekwe Lois International Foundation. This is just to remind you that if you want to be a part of this IDP empowerment drive, you can contact them
Yeah, you can contact us.
through which number?
677-980934. You can also contact us through our website, Dr. Lois International Humanitarian Foundation. You can also contact us on our Facebook, Dr. Lois International Humanitarian Foundation, and you'll get more details about us.
Okay. Before we let you go, you just whispered to me that you have an event coming up in November.
Yeah, we have
Maybe
another.
just a teaser on that.
Okay, we have another event coming up in November 27 to be precisely in Limbe. We have also noticed a particular challenge in our society where good practices are not enhanced. So we have decided to come up with an award ceremony where some good practices will be identified, and we are going to be giving awards to good practices, and this involves all the different sectors of the economy,
Such as?
such as the hotel, such as the schools, such as businesses, and many others.
So an award that will concern people from these fields?
Yeah, it's an award that you can send people from all fields of life. Okay. The main objective of this award is to promote good practices and services in our society. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so presently we are asking on those who are interested to go on our Facebook page. They are going to see the details about the award.
And the nominees, they get to vote?
The nominees, yeah, they'll get to vote. Okay. We want everybody to participate in the voting because this is going to help our society to be a better place.
Amazing. Thank you again for passing by, Emade.
Thank you very much.
That said, we're taking you to South Africa to discover the diamond polishing business. Sisters who let go of ophthalmology and banking to foray into cutting and polishing diamonds. Why would they do that? Let's find out.
A passion for diamonds drove South African sisters Mozibudi Jo Matoli and Khomotso Ramudipa to drop their careers as an investment banker and an optometrist. After qualifying as diamond valuators, in 2008 they started a cutting and polishing shop, the first and only one run by sisters in South Africa.
Barriers to entry go beyond just being a woman or being a man, because the difficulty, it boils down to having an outfit like this. You really need a proper capital outlay, and for women it becomes a bit tricky because this has always been a very male dominated industry.
But seeing challenges as opportunities, the sisters cut their way into the diamond industry, selling only responsibly sourced certified stones bought from mining companies operating in South Africa. Kwame Diamonds carved out a niche in cutting and polishing fancy and bespoke cut diamonds.
To produce a forever marked diamond, which according to them, it's 1% of the world diamonds that are produced. If you are able to polish that kind of diamond, then you are among one of the best.
Matoli and Ramudipa employ and empower women in the diamond industry by developing their skills.
Now I can go out there and say, I'm a diamond cutter. I'm even specializing with fancy cut. It's something that it's so wow, because other people, they don't know it.
Globally, polished diamonds' profit margins are declining. The South African industry shrank from 4,500 polishers 25 years ago to only 250 polishers today. But the sister-run Kwame Diamonds has managed to not only stay in the market, but gain a reputation for innovation.
They're looking at the diamond industry from a different perspective. They're thinking out of the box, and maybe they're ticking all the right boxes that is giving them the success that they have. And maybe that's what a lot of the older diamond industry can learn from.
South Africa's diamond industry fears a lack of growth will not provide enough jobs for trained diamond talent. Matoli disagrees.
How you approach the business is what will set you apart. So yes, it is shrinking, but we are here not to shrink. We are here to make sure that we expand.
These dynamic sisters are determined to prove not that diamonds are a girl's best friend, but rather an industry where women can shine.
Diamonds are a girl's best friend. No, diamonds make women shine in business now. Now, did you know that each year about 5,000 carats of diamonds are produced by artisanal miners along the Cameroun Central African Republic border? Yes, traffickers scour mining fields and supply informal marketing channels. This is according to Business in Cameroun. Now, Cameroun is currently partnering with the Kimberley Process, an international mechanism to trace this illegal diamond trade. But right now, I'm going to take you to our next focus. The footprints of this focus are still on the moon. The dust is thick there, but there isn't any wind on Earth to remove them from our minds. He is also the recipient of the highest honor a civilian can earn from the U.S. government. Who is he? Well, let's find out on this day in history with Kembe Gochi. Hello.
Hello, Patience.
How are you doing?
I'm great, and you?
I'm doing fine. How's the weekend?
It was good. I just have a hoarse voice, the cold in Yaoundé is not doing well.
No, but I think you're embracing that voice and you're making a mood out of it. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Astronaut, military pilot, and educator, Neil Armstrong made history on July 20th, 1969 by becoming the first man to walk on the moon. How fantastic is that? Unfortunately, he died on August 25th, 2012 at the age of 82. But as they say, good men never die, right? Now, I think it's important for those who may not know who Neil Armstrong is for you to brush that up for us.
Of course, Patience, Neil Armstrong was born in Wapakoneta, Ohio, in the USA on August 5, 1930. He developed a fascination for flight at an early age and earned his student pilot's license when he was 16. And in 1949, Armstrong began his studies in aeronautical engineering at Patie University on U.S. Navy scholarship. In 1949, as part of his scholarship, Armstrong trained as a pilot in the Navy. He began seeing active service in the Korean War 2 years later and went on to fly 85 combat missions during this military conflict. After earning his release from active service in 1952, Armstrong returned to college, and a few years later, Armstrong joined the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, NACA, which later became the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA. For this government agency, he worked in a number of different capacities, including serving as a test pilot and engineer. And on July 20, 1969, Patience, Armstrong made history by becoming the first man to walk on the moon.
Wow, tell us more about this famous moon landing expedition.
Okay, Patience, Armstrong faced the biggest challenge of his life in 1969, along with Michael Collins and Edwin Aldrin, by being part of NASA's first manned mission to the moon. The trio was launched into space on July 16, 1969, serving as a mission's commander. Armstrong piloted the lunar module to the moon's surface on July 20, 1969, and at 10:57 p.m., Armstrong exited the lunar module, Patience, and he said, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." And Armstrong and Aldrin collected samples and conducted experiments while on the moon, and they also took photographs, including their own footprints. And Neil Armstrong, Patience, received numerous awards for his efforts, including the Medal of Freedom and the Congressional Space Medal of Honor. And that's about it, Patience.
Okay, so I think beyond the fact that he landed on the moon, he had other contributions that marked the person he was, because he lived till the ripe age of 82.
Yes, Patience. Armstrong remained with NASA, serving as Deputy Associate Administrator for Aeronautics until 1971. After leaving NASA, he joined the faculty of the University of Cincinnati as a professor of aerospace engineering. Armstrong remained at the university for 8 years, staying active in this field. He served as chairman of Computing Technologies for Aviation, and from 1982 to 1992. And despite Patience being one of the most famous astronauts in history, Armstrong largely shied away from the public eye. In one of his rare interviews, he said, "The moon is an interesting place to be. I recommend it." The moon is an interesting place to be. I recommend it. Before I take leave of you, Patience, I selected this excerpt from that particular interview. Let's take a listen.
Dear men from the planet Earth, first set foot upon the moon, July 1969, Patie. It came in peace for all mankind.
Knowledge of the...
All right, Patience. Even in his final years, Armstrong remained committed to space exploration. On August 25, 2020, the 82-year-old Armstrong died of complications from a heart operation. And shortly after his death, his family released a statement that read, "For those who may ask what they can do to honor Neil, we have a simple request. Honor his example of service, accomplishment and modesty. And the next time you walk outside on a clear night and see the moon smiling down at you, think of Neil Armstrong and give him a wink.
Oh, that's so sweet. But
So
I
I'm
just
giving him a
love
wink
his,
right now, huh?
Yes. The values, modesty. I like that. He achieved so much, but yet he remained so modest.
Yeah.
That's something to be inspired by.
Sure.
Okay, thank you again, Ken Bingochi.
You're welcome, Patience.
Thursday, when you come back with
Precious.
But before then, someone is on standby. He is Bruno. And Bruno, you can walk right in and make yourself comfortable, because if you have been on CRTV web, you must have seen this question. What are some of the incidents that you may have witnessed while writing a public examination? Someone copying, someone writing the answers in their sleeves and then peeking through, and you're like, what is going on? I would never do that, and that's not fair. But then you can't report the person at the same time. So what are those weird experiences you've had in public examinations? Some of you have left your responses, but Bruno has to strike the rod to begin this. Hi, Bruno.
Hi, Patience.
I like that cap.
Oh,
That
thank you.
hat. It looks like it's straight from Panama. Raffia?
It's locally made, yeah. Raffia.
Locally made.
Yes,
oh,
it
wow.
is.
Did you make it?
No, I didn't make it. We are trying to promote our local producers.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. It matches with like the badge you have here.
Yeah, that's it.
But then you're here to talk about public exam incidents.
Yeah, exam malpractice. Exam malpractice is defined as the deliberate wrongdoing contrary to official examination rules designed to place a candidate at unfair advantage or at disadvantages. Yeah, so there are a lot of them. There are a lot of reasons why students and pupils sitting in for official examinations, they go into exam malpractices. And it has been common lately in Cameroon, and we had an incident that the exams of the baccalaureate were leaked. Unfortunately, government was on it. They went behind investigating, and they found out those who were involved in this leakage, and they have been suspended for 3 months.
So you see, when you cheat, you get caught.
It
you
has
get
consequences.
punished.
Yeah.
Exactly, consequences. But we're going to talk more about this in a moment and read your messages. But that will be after this commercial break.
Avec OneXBet, Paris est gagné avec OneXBet. Paris est gagné avec OneXBet.
OneXBet, bookmaker fiable.
Yeah, welcome back. It's Cameroun Feeling on CRTV, and we're talking about public exam malpractices. I'm going to turn over to Bruno if he's seen or witnessed one, or were you one of those?
I've gotten into an exam hall, like I'll say that was in the university. I'll say cheating in the university is quite common, but don't get caught or something like that. You see, for example, they send in invigilators to the exam hall who are scared of students. That's one of the factors that favors cheating in universities. Students tend to threaten lecturers, invigilators. They'll send a master student to come and invigilate a postgraduate exam. Then you find them just turning, when you catch somebody cheating, what do? You're scared on the action to take.
Yes.
You're worried to report that person because you're afraid of what might happen to you after the exams.
So in the end, why are they there?
Sometimes you just hear them say, cheat but don't get caught. Imagine an invigilator telling you that. Cheat but don't get caught.
That's so wrong.
And another factor that favors cheating in secondary schools especially, it's the seating arrangement during exams. You see, some schools are really crowded, and you have to sit 3 per bench in order to write an exam, and that's really hard. Like, not to cheat. Imagine if you know something you don't, and some other person does not know anything, and the person is trying to peep into your paper, and what do?
It distracts the other student, because you spend the whole time trying to cover, and it can't work.
And can't work. You can't spend your whole time trying to cover your paper, while some other person is trying to peep into your paper and take down notes.
If the producer, James, is ready, we can have a couple of messages, what you've sent to us on CRTV web. But then, were you one of those students, Bruno, who would write the exam like this?
I will not say I usually write exams like that, but the schools I've gone to, they do not favor cheating.
Good.
Because the sitting arrangements, especially during the GCE, you'll sit, we had lockers during exams, so you transfer to the hall, to the school auditorium to write exams.
Yes.
So you have an advanced level student seated here, and the next locker should be at least a meter away. An ordinary level student seated, so you're on your own. That's why.
But I think things are changing because of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Exactly.
And you have to keep some distance. It's going to be difficult for cheaters this season.
The physical distancing is making students work harder. They have to work harder in order for them to depend on themselves to write what they have learned. If not, students will continue cheating. Students have a lot of reasons why they cheat. You have students who cheat because of peer pressure, because you hear other students be like, oh, I've not read well, I'm going to cheat. I have this cheat sheet already wrapped up and put in my pocket and all that. And you also have this student, because he has heard that a friend is doing that, he wants to cheat too. And laziness, some students are just lazy, they don't want to read. You just have time to go on to just jot things down and sit in the examination hall and cheat. And the environmental factors, I was saying, the way students are cramped in one class, it favors cheating. Another technologically assisted cheating. You have phones, you have one thing that maybe some of these invigilators don't know right now is the smartwatches students have. Don't only check their pockets for foreign material, also check their watches. Some of them are very smart. They can record material. Sometimes they might want to try to check if the time, but actually checking for information corresponding to a question.
Okay, let's take this message by Eboko Jenny Emade. She says, back in the primary school days in the year 2000, GBPS BMSC, when I was writing common entrance, everywhere was calm. Pupils were cracking their heads to solve one or two problems when suddenly a loud noise from the toilet came from the toilet like a bomb. Everyone was scared. Our teachers then told us that it was just an electric fault, but there was smoke everywhere and people were panicking. So that's some interesting experience. It destabilizes a student if you look at that.
That's true.
An awkward sound.
Yeah, examinations, you need a lot of calm in order to write your exams.
Yeah.
You need a lot of calm, that's why you have, they just allow only those who are writing exams be in school. No other sporting activities or social activities go on during exam period.
Yeah, it's not to distract the students. But this conversation goes on Thursday as well. You have some time to come up with some more interesting stories, Bruno.
Yeah,
definitely.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you again. Have a lovely day.
Thank you, and thanks for having me.
And I may just take that cap, that hat by
I
the end
don't
of
mind
the show.
giving you.
That said, we're going to move on to the second segment of the program. We're going to talk theatre arts, also spoken word poetry, and lots more immediately after this break.